Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is my Matchday 5 Championship score predictions. Now obviously I've had a week away with it being international break, but thankfully Championship football is back, and so the prediction videos can come back on a continuous weekly base. So we'll just get straight into them, starting out with tonight's game. Derby County take on Watford at Pride Park. Now, Watford have had a bit of a up and down start to the season before the international break, went into the international break with a defeat away to Reading. And Derby County went into the international break with a 1-0 win away to Norwich City. So, one went in to the international break with a win, the other one with a loss. Now, will that have an effect on this game? Not too sure. Obviously, some players have been away on international duty from Watford, I believe. I'm not too sure. But either way, will their form going into the international break will it have an effect on today's game? I'm not too sure. I don't believe they will. I do think Watford might just have the edge over Derby in this one. But Derby did show, real resilience against Norwich City last time out in the Championship. So, Derby could pull off what I would class as a surprise win in this one. Not too sure. We'll have to find out, obviously, later on today. But I do think Watford's class will shine through, and I do think Watford will grab all 3 points in this fixture. I've gone with Derby County 1, Watford 2. Heading into Saturday, there is no early kickoff, I believe, on Saturday, so we'll just go through them as usual. Bournemouth take on QPR. Now, Bournemouth have had a pretty solid start to the season, to be fair. I probably would say they've had the better start to the season than the other two relegated clubs from the Premier League. They've got a very, very solid squad there. Obviously, the domestic transfer window is now shut, I believe, as it is around 5 o'clock when I'm filming this. So the domestic window has shut. So no more transfer deals can be done. QPR have had a pretty interesting transfer window, to say the least. But into this game, Bournemouth's quality should really shine through over QPR, and especially being at home, Bournemouth are going to be a tough side to beat, are going to be a tough side to take points away from at their ground this season. So I've gone with Bournemouth 2, QPR 1. Barnsley then take on one of two 100% record teams this season, Bristol City, 4 wins out of 4. Barnsley, let's be honest, haven't had the start to the season they really wanted to. I think they might have lost 3, drawn 1, I believe. I'm not too sure, but, their manager Gerhard Struber's just left for New York Red Bulls in the MLS, so not the ideal situation for them. Obviously, they went into the international break with a 2-1 away loss to my team, Middlesbrough, obviously, so not the best form heading into this stint of games. Bristol, on the other hand, have been fantastic, really showed some brilliant attacking football. They play nice football on the floor, moving it about. Really, really good side, Bristol City, so far this season. So I do think it'll be a bit of an easy game for them. So I've gone Barnsley 0, Bristol City 2. Birmingham City then take on Sheffield Wednesday. Again, both these sides have had a similar start to the season. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday is still rooted to the bottom of the table on -8, I think it is. They're on now, obviously, starting on the -12 point deduction. They're now on like -8, something like that. But as in terms of results so far this season, these two have had a pretty similar start to the season. Tokarenko's got Birmingham City playing some pretty effective football. Sheffield Wednesday have had some brilliant players come into the team. Whether that can be implemented into this game, I don't know. I'm going to go on a pretty of an equalise. I think this one's just going to have a draw written all over it. Really, I think I've put Birmingham City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. On to Blackburn Rovers against Nottingham Forest at Ewood Park. Now Blackburn have had a brilliant start to the season. I think I wouldn't say brilliant because they've had 1 loss, 1 draw, 2 wins, I believe. But the 2 wins, they have scored 4 or more goals in them, but one of them was against Wickham, so you can't really say, it's a bit of a surprise in a way. But hey ho, they still had a pretty decent start to the season, whereas Forest, on the other hand, have had a dreadful start to the season. I believe they're in the bottom 3 at the moment. Just nothing seems to be working for them. Nothing seems to be clicking up front for them. I think they've scored 1 goal in the 4 games that they've played so far, and that was last time out against Bristol City. I do think Blackburn will pull through on this one. I believe they have just signed Ainsley Pears from Middlesbrough as we speak on the deadline. Bit of an upsetting one for Middlesbrough to lose, but I might do a separate video on that, so we'll see. But I do think Blackburn will get the edge over Forest with the contrasting starts to the season. I think Blackburn will pull through on this one, so I've gone Blackburn Rovers 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Brentford then take on Coventry at Brentford's new ground. Brentford, it looks like they have lost Saeed Benrahma to West Ham, even though he did fail his medical at West Ham. Now, I don't know whether that's been, if they've confirmed the signing or not, but he did fail the medical. But it looks like he's gone to West Ham, and it looks like Brentford have lost their, I would say, talisman from last season, really. Which is a bit of a blow, but they've still got a quality within the squad to not really feel disheartened by it. They've got players like Josh Da Silva, Ivan Toney, they've still got Mbuimo. They've still got some quality players in there that you could say are playoff quality players. Coventry, on the other hand, I do believe they will be missing their what you would say main creative point in their team, Ben Hamer. Is it Ben Hamer? I think it is, or Hamer anyway. They are going to be missing him, which could be a bit of a blow to Coventry. Whether or not that has effect on the scoreline, I do think it will, but obviously we never really know. It's the Championship, anything can happen. But I have gone with a Brentford 2, Coventry City 0. Luton Town take on Stoke City, the Nathan Jones derby as it is now. Well, you can now call it, obviously managing both teams. Obviously left Luton for Stoke, I believe, and then went back to Luton. I'm not too sure. But anyway, Luton Town, solid start to the season for them, really. Have really upped their game from last season, whereas Stoke, on the other hand, have not had the start they might have wanted, but they've still brought in a lot of good players in the transfer window that will help them push for playoffs this season, I think. But with the start Luton having the confidence they're running in at the moment, I do believe they can get some out of the game. But like I say, it's the Championship, anything can happen, and I do think Stoke might come out fighting and surprise Luton in this one. Maybe the international break has taken effect on Luton and might have spoilt the good run of form they're in. It's put a pause to it for the international break, and they have to try and rekindle that form again. Whether they will or not, I don't know, but I've gone with Luton Town 2, Stoke City 2. On to my team, Middlesbrough. We take on Reading at the Riverside tomorrow, obviously. Middlesbrough have made some pretty decent signings in the window. Obviously, I'll do a separate video ranking all of the Championship clubs' signings, so I won't go in too deep into it. Obviously, we just recently signed Patrick Roberts, though, on loan for the season, so that is a brilliant addition. Obviously, Reading fans if they watched the game towards the end of last season, they'll know what he can do, and he obviously scoring a goal against them away, which practically sealed us. Well, it did seal us the 3 points. But anyway, Reading hot in form. The other team that I wrote, one of the only other teams that are in 100% on 100% record at the minute. Them and Bristol City, both on 100% winning streaks. Both won 4 out of 4. Middlesbrough, on the other hand, are unbeaten in their last 3. 2 draws, 1 win and a loss to our name at the moment. Whether Reading will be able to keep their form going with the international break, putting it to a bit of a pause, I don't know. I think they probably can. They've got a decent squad there. They've shown it that they've got a decent squad there. Obviously beating Watford last time out before the international break. So they showed that they've got the right grit and determination and the fight to get the 3 points. But I do think Middlesbrough might be able to pull off something like pull off a result and maybe snatch some points in this game. On paper, normally you would think Middlesbrough would be easy 3 points for this one, but with the way Reading have been going, you can't really guarantee it. But I do think Middlesbrough might be able to snatch something from this game. I think we've had a decent start to the season, and even though we've lost that game we lost against Watford, we still played well. We've played well in all of them. It's just about taking our chances, and hopefully with the signing of Roberts, that'll help it with the creativity side and everything. But yeah, I do think Middlesbrough could nick something from this, so I've gone Middlesbrough 1, Reading 1. Rotherham United then take on Norwich City. Obviously, Rotherham dealt a blow just before the international break. They were playing against Huddersfield. Hadn't beaten Huddersfield in God knows how long, and had it snatched away from him in like the 96th minute or something it was. Through an own goal. Very, very unlucky for Rotherham. So maybe their confidence might have been knocked by that. I don't see why it should be, but because they did play well against Huddersfield, just got very unlucky. Norwich, on the other hand, went into the international break with a loss, a 1-0 defeat to Derby County, like I've mentioned earlier in the video. So yeah, bit of an interesting one, but I think Norwich might come out on top of this one. So I've gone Rotherham United 0, Norwich 1. Swansea then take on Huddersfield. Swansea have been in red hot form at the minute. They've been solid, putting in some pretty entertaining performances. Brilliant results they've been pulling out of the bag. Huddersfield, on the other hand, yeah, doing well, but not as well as they would hope to have done under new management of Carlos Colburn. Whether that might start to pick up now and the football he wants them to play might be shown a little bit more now that the international break's out the way and they've had that time to rest and then go again, and they've got the basis of what the championship is going to be like this season. Whether their style of football will kick in from now, we don't know, but from going off the basis of the form recently and the way Swansea have been playing, I got to back them for the 3 points here. So I've gone Swansea City 2, Huddersfield 1. Wickham Wanderers then take on Millwall. Obviously, Wickham are the worst side in the league at the moment. Haven't won any of their games. I think they've lost all of them so far at the minute. I don't know whether they have scored a goal. I'm not too sure on that. I don't even think they've scored a goal, but they play Millwall. Millwall have been a pretty up and down mixed bag of a start of the season, really. But going off the basis of what Wickham have been like over the past few weeks, I just don't see them getting a result against a Millwall side that are hard to break down. And, it's going to be a tough one for them. So I'm going to have to back Millwall for the 3 points. I've gone Wickham Wanderers 0, Millwall 1. And then finally, on to Sunday's game. Preston North End take on Cardiff City at Deepdale. Preston, I don't know what happened in that game against Brentford just before the international break, but what a comeback that was from, I believe, 2-0 down to win 4-2. Fantastic performance from Preston there. Really resilient football. Fantastic to get themselves back in the game, and then to take all 3 points was just the icing on the cake. Cardiff, on the other hand, not really had the best start to the season, have they really? For a team that should really be doing what Reading are doing, in my opinion, be 4 out of 4. in the Championship. 4 wins out of 4. They haven't. I believe they might have. I think they've lost 2 and drawn 2 or something like that. Or they probably have won 1. I haven't checked the table in a while. But either way, not the start they would have wanted. And with the confidence Preston are going to be having going into the going back into this stint of games from the break they've had before the international break I think is going to play on this one. I think Preston will be going into this with a lot of confidence, with their heads held high. So I'm going to back them for the 3 points. I've gone Preston North End 2, Cardiff City 1. Maybe the most controversial one of the weekend. We don't know yet. Either way, anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Again, like always, leave your score predictions in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.